What up, what up, what up? Hey guys, my name is Frank Salas. I go by the name The Talented Mr. Salas. And in this video, man, I got a treat for you guys. We're working with not an NLP practitioner. We're working with a master NLP practitioner. If you guys know me, you guys know I love NLP and I'm super talented, but there's one thing that I can't do. And I brought the guy to help you out. And this is breaking beliefs. So before I even get into this, I'm going to tell you a story real quick. So my story is with Ian Sneed. He is a master NLP practitioner. I had my first ever growth hacking conference out in Las Vegas in October or August of 2016. Check this out. There was this lady who was attending the conference, and that morning, literally the morning of the conference, she walked into her house and her husband was in bed with another woman. I mean, just reality shattered. And she was like, she paid the money to go to the conference. She was like, I told Frank I was going to be there. I wanted to meet him. She'd been following me forever. I was looking forward to serving her. And she comes in, she's just like devastated. And then like Ian comes up and just brings her on the stage. Like this is like not even 30 seconds have passed. Like Ian comes up, brings her on the stage and just starts talking to her. And then she's like full of joy. And I was like, whoa. How do you take somebody who's devastated, who just found her husband in bed with another woman and get her into this state? It was like I seen Tony Robbins do it, like on TV and documentaries and in videos and stuff. And I was like, oh, that's got to be fake, whatever. And I'm a believer. I believe in NLP, but to see it in person. And I'm normally animated, guys, but like I'm excited for this interview because you guys are gonna learn a lot of stuff. By the way, this interview is specifically for social media marketing agency owners, but it applies across people who are just trying to get better, business owners, entrepreneurs, professionals, athletes. I would say Ian is going to be the most qualified person that we've ever had on our show. By the way, I think we're called millennial marketers now. The Talks with Talented Mr. Salas. I don't know. It's good shit from good dudes and good lady bosses. That's what it is. So before we get into that, I want to say thank you so much for all your comments. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for your likes and sharing this video out. I want to give a huge shout out to somebody before we get into this. I'm sharing my screen, and this is something that I got this morning that was from Mark. And he says, hey, Frank, my name is Mark. I'm from Toronto, Canada. I've been 3 months in my social media business, and I've already landed 4 clients with a restaurant niche. I just want to drop you a message of gratitude in regards to the videos that you posted. Phenomenal information, great energy, and overall pure motivation. Nice to meet you. Thanks for the inspiration, and keep doing what you're doing. And if I'm in Toronto, I'm going to hit you up, Mark. So, man, I motivate him, and when he sends messages like that, it motivates me. We feed off of each other. That's swag on swag. You can beat swag. Swag can be beaten by itself. But if you have swag on swag, there's no question. There's no contest. And right now, man, we got a double dose of swag on swag coming your way. Without further ado, I got to introduce, and it's my pleasure to introduce, Mr. Ian Sneed. You can find him everywhere online, and he's going to tell you that here in just a bit. But make sure you follow him. Ian, what's up, dude?
What's up, Frank? Dang, man, that was a good intro. That was awesome. It's funny. I remember that conference, and I had no idea that the event that I was working with, when I brought her up on stage, had happened that morning. I had no idea. That was just a situation that was in front of me, and I was like, all right, like let's work with this. Let's work through this. And it was just kind of like this maneuvering. This verbal maneuvering until finally like she had that moment, and it was awesome because you could see that epiphany like in her eyes. It was just like a light bulb turned on. And I was like, boom, we got it. I was like, whatever she needed help with, she just got it. And that's one thing that I love about NLP is I don't need to know what the problem is. A lot of the times I really don't. I don't need to know what the problem is. You tell me without having to talk about specifics. And so that's why I love using it whenever I work with people. But yeah, man. For anyone, I know you shouted out my social media. You said you can follow them everywhere. IanSneed.com, and all my social media is real Ian Sneed. So feel free to follow me. More than happy to engage with you on any kind of social media. I'm here to serve. So
word up, man. Word up. So, okay, for everybody who's just logged in, they're like, okay, Frank got me hyped up, but what's NLP? What is that? What do those 3 letters mean?
Right. So NLP stands for neuro-linguistic programming. Neuro, brain, linguistics, language, and programming is how you use your language to create programs in your brain that cause you to make decisions a certain way or follow certain habits. So NLP is the psychology of habit change, using your language to change the way your brain works in such a way that you transition from one state to a preferred state effortlessly. That's in a nutshell what NLP is.
And for those you guys who are like, oh, woo woo, blah, 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 guys, you're already doing this. You're mentally programming yourself every single day. When you look at yourself in the mirror, like, I love myself. When I see myself in the mirror, I'm like, damn, boy, you fine as hell. Dude, you're so handsome. You got $1 million smile. Everybody should love you. Everybody should get to experience you. Like, that's how I talk to myself. And some people might listen to that and be like, oh, well, Frank's this, this, and this. And other people are like, oh, that makes sense. That's probably why he's always in such a good mood. And, you know, I'm not perfect. I'm always working on myself. But because I talk to myself that way, and because I try to talk to others that way and lift others and, you know, put out that vibe and speak that language, it comes back to me. So Ian is somebody who has all kinds of qualifications. Ian, qualify yourself. Tell the people your certs, man. Talk about your certs, dog.
For sure, man. And you know what, before I do that, like, I want to point out that you're absolutely right. NLP is actually something that you use every day. It's something that, you know, and I'll tell you a quick little story. In college, I worked at a Starbucks, and I did that because I had to become a better person. And I saw the people working at Starbucks. I'm like, oh man, like, they're super fun people. That's who I need to be if I want to be more social. So I literally got a job there just to bring out my personality. And I remember, oh, man, I was serious. I was like, man, I do not want to do this. I do not want to do this. And before I got on the floor, we called it the floor. Before I got on the floor, I would put my hat on and be like, all right, let's do this. And that was like my final moment. So I would put my hat on and be like, let's go. And I would walk onto the floor and feel like I'm acting, right? But that became an anchor. It's called an anchor when you get into the right state of mind. Every time I imagine putting a hat on or I clap my hands like that, I'm like ready to go. I'm in Starbucks mode is what I call it. And it's literally as if I just took 4 shots of espresso and I'm ready to go. Like, that's how I feel every single time I do it. So yeah, that's like a perfect example of something we do every day. When you want to remember something, you're snapping your fingers like, oh, what is it? What is it? What is it? Like, that's a memory trigger for you, right? So, you know, that's something that NLP works with, is finding what you already do and using it to make you bring out the best in you. But yeah, as far as qualifications, you know, I grew up rough, man. I grew up surrounded by gangs, and I had this belief about life that, like, everyone was against me, the world was against me, they're out to get me, and I had to make the conscious decision to change. You know, a lot of people, they don't really believe, like, okay, when you're kind of always this way, you're kind of always going to be this way. I'm here to tell you that's total BS. That is not true at all. Like, you can make a conscious decision right now that can completely change your life in whatever way possible. And I did that. I went from, like, gangster and thought I'd be dead at, like, the age of 24 to, you know, owning 2 businesses, graduating with 2 degrees in college. And really, man, I run the gamut. Like, I have a degree in interpersonal and organizational communication, as well as sports psychology and leadership. I did a year as a traveling consultant around the U.S. So I've been to 38 of the 48 continental states, which I'm so proud of, like, because I always had this dream of traveling the U.S. and I got paid to do it, you know. And when I did that, I got a car, I got a phone, I got a laptop, and I got to live in a mansion. Like, that was just part of the deal. It was amazing. The things that you can do when you decide that you're going to make a change. So when I came out of that year as a traveling consultant, I realized I love helping people hit their goals. I love helping people achieve the best. So I went and I became a master NLP practitioner because I knew that was the best tool to helping people. So I've brought all of that and years of experience, because I started my coaching business back in like 2014. So I'm like almost 4 years now of working with people. And it's something that I absolutely love. It excites me. So that's me in a nutshell, my man.
Man, this is going to be just a solid interview. Like, a lot of people who are like master NLP practitioners or NLP practitioners, like, you know, they're good and there's a lot of science behind that. But this dude went to college for communication. He then on his own took his own money, no tuition. There ain't no scholarship for NLP stuff, you know, and he went and he learned not only NLP practitioner, but master NLP practitioner. And for those of you guys who are very, very wise or initiated, you could tell a lot of the ways that he speaks and how it makes you feel. And that's what we're going to get into in the next few moments. But like I said it before, this interview is for people who are owning social media marketing agencies. And I asked a bunch of questions. Again, thank you so much for your comments and your questions. And I have some questions from our audience for people that are getting stuck. I have some people that are, you know, saying, you know what, but I'm just a kid. These are some limiting beliefs that I want you to just annihilate. So if you're a millennial marketing agency owner, or you're a millennial and you want to own a marketing agency, you're going to the B2B world where people have gray hair and business and they've made millions of dollars. And maybe you graduated college, maybe you graduated high school, maybe you didn't, maybe you have some college. Like, it's kind of scary going from that to trying to ask these business owners for, money per month for a recurring fee. And it's like your friends and your family are telling you, no, just get a job. What are you doing? Why are you on the laptop? What are you working on? What is this? What is this? You should do this. This is how you should live your life. And there's a lot of outside forces that are limiting your thoughts, your expansion. They're clouding your judgment, and they're making you not being able to decide, like Ian was saying, this is how you want to advance. This could also apply for anybody in school, anybody who wants to be a good parent, a good husband, a good boyfriend, a good girlfriend, whatever that is. Whatever your goal is, there's a lot of stuff that's coming from the outward and the inward that's stopping you. You're self-sabotaging and allowing other people to sabotage for you. So the first question or the first limiting belief that I want you to annihilate, brother, is if you're talking to somebody who's 18 years old, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and they're going to people who have gray hair, made millions of dollars, and they're asking them for money, but they're like, I can't do that. I can't see myself being successful doing that because of this reason, because of blah, blah, blah. What would you tell them?
Right. So a lot of times what you see when people are young and they're dealing with business owners or investors that are older and have experience, that's the thing that they worry about. They look at what's missing in them that the other person has, and then they compare those parts, right? So, oh man, like this guy already has all this money, he already has all this experience in business. Well, you know what? Because of technology, business has changed dramatically, even in the last 5 years. Like even in the last year, business is always changing and updating, and these business owners, they know that. And that's why they're even sitting down and listening to you, because what they're thinking is, man, this guy's 18. This guy's on the cutting edge of technology. This guy might know something that I need. In the end, they're looking exactly how you're looking at them. They're looking at you the exact same way. They're thinking, man, I'm old. I'm stuck in my ways. I need some youth. I need some vigor. I need somebody that's young that can come in and teach me something, can show me something new, show me something different, show me something that can change the world, because I can't do it with just money. I need the person that has the right ideas. I need the person that has the passion. I need the person that has the energy, because they don't have that anymore. So in the end, if you're sitting there thinking like, oh man, I'm 18 and how am I going to convince this guy to have money? Show him the best qualities that you have that you're pretty sure he doesn't. Because in the end, that's what's going to make a good partnership. It's two people or more that come together and say, okay, your best and my best come together and it forms something even better than what we could have been individually. So instead of thinking like, oh man, like I'm scared of asking for money, you're not asking for money. You're offering an idea that can make him more money. Like it's not, give me your money, you're never getting it back. Like that's stealing. If that's your intention, then yeah, you don't want to go into that conversation, because they'll be able to smell you like right from the front. But if you're honest about doing what you love, doing something that you think will help people, doing something, whether it's, a small business owner that you want to help, whether you want to focus on big businesses, whether you want to focus on niches, whatever it is that you want to do, if you're passionate and you have something that you feel can be a game changer, or you have something that you feel can be even better than average, then you need to go and reach out to those people that are looking for people just like you. So that's what I would tell somebody. That's in a nutshell. I would change the way you're looking at the situation and recognize that you have what they need, not the other way around.
Man, if you want more of this stuff, straight up, go to www.iansneed.com. First and foremost, check this out. Look at this. We were laughing at this here. He's the one-man boy band. Look at this. His website's money. His website's legit, but go check him out. Go all the way down to the form down here. Fill this out. Get in touch with them, because any limiting belief that you have, anything that's stopping you from success, Ian can help you with that. I've literally seen him do it. He just did it right now, and we're going to keep shutting down your weak thoughts, your low-value thoughts. We're going to change your low-value thoughts, and we're going to exchange those for high-value thoughts, and that's what we're doing on this show. So allow yourself to be open to accept and receive the messages that we're trying to send your way. So, Ian, great job. Next one. Let's say somebody gets past that hump and like, okay, I got the balls. I'm going to ask for some money, but maybe they might be asking for a few $100s when they should be asking for a few thousand, man. How do we make that jump from that next level up? This limiting belief is for somebody who is maybe has some clients right now, and this could be a personal trainer. It could be a raise at your job. It could be more of allowance if you're a kid, whatever that is. How do you ask for that money that you want, that you think that you should have, that you think you deserve? How do you do that?
Well, I think that really comes down to maybe looking at the situation and recognizing, have I provided more value than what I'm being paid? And if the answer to that is yes, then you deserve to ask for that money. You deserve to say like, hey, here's the experience that we've had. This is worth this much. You've been paying this much, and I would like to bridge the gap between those two amounts. And it's really easy if you think about presenting it in a way where it's like, you're getting this value. I'm still giving you more than that. I'm just asking for this much. Then it makes it a lot easier. But, because I'm thinking about the kid asking for his allowance, really is what it is, because that's what we're all doing. That's when you break it down, that's what we're all doing. When we're trying to, raise our prices, we're asking for a higher allowance. And at the same time, we always have that mindset. If you grew up that way, you have that mindset of like, oh man, asking my parents for more money, like that's a scary thought. And that's the thought that comes into the mix when you're trying to raise your prices, when you're trying to get more money in any way. That's the thought that really kind of breaks in. So what you got to remember is that there are certain values that people have that mean the world to them, right? So let's say you're a personal trainer and you know that this person that you've been working with is trying to get fit because maybe they're a mom that's trying to get back to their, high school weight, or they're trying to be fit because they want to be able to play with their kids more. Like, you got to think about it that way. Don't think about it as you're paying me money so I can make you do a burpee. Like, you're paying me money so I can make you squat deeper. Like, that's not what you're doing. They're paying you money so that they can enjoy the time with their kids at a higher quality than they would have if you were not in their life. So that they can enjoy time with their kids, period. Like, if you don't think that's a valuable gift, then you really need to sit down and analyze the clients that you're pursuing. Because in the end, what you're doing is you're providing these people, your clients or whoever it is, with the opportunity to enjoy their highest values. And that is priceless to everybody. That is priceless. And because it is priceless, you can raise the prices and they will pay. So really, when it comes to asking for more money, you have to look at that. What is the value that they're getting? And not value as in like monetary, but the actual values that are being fulfilled for my clients. And based off of that, how comfortable do I feel moving it up, right? Moving up my prices. And then once you get to that point, like, I feel comfortable doing this, raise it a little bit more, because if you're staying in your comfort zone, you're losing a lot. You're leaving a lot on the table if you're staying in your comfort zone, right? So raise it just a little bit more than that.
Boom,
that's my
man.
Suggestion. Yeah.
Boom. Knocked it out of the park. And just to piggyback on that and just to really drive that point home. So that's the why. That's the reason. That's the why that's, spiritual, and that's out there. And it's very, out there. If you want to be like, yo, show me numbers and facts, guys, if you are a social media marketing agency owner, the average price, I'm going to say this again, the average price in the marketplace right now for somebody, a small business, a medium business, a corporation, a big brand, a large business, the average price for them to work with somebody is $3,000 to $7,000 United States American dollars per month on a retainer. That doesn't include hosting. That doesn't include softwares. Doesn't include ad spend. That's the going rate. If you are charging below $3,000 to $7,000 or $1,000, you are below average. So for those of you guys who keep messaging me saying, I'm working with clients that only pay me $250, that only pay me $500, that only pay me $700. I'm like, dude, why? Why? Like, you're undervaluing yourself. So what do you got to say about that, Ian?
And you know what? It's not just that. A lot of times that's the average, right? That means that there's people that are charging more than that. That means there's people that are charging less than that. You're bringing the average down if you're charging less than that, right? Just think about that for a second. You're bringing the average down. It could be a lot higher if you were living up to the current average. But ignoring that fact, let's talk about the quality that those competitors may be putting out there. They may be charging a lot because they know, oh, this is the average. I'm going to charge at least that. But they may not put in the same amount of work that you do. So somebody is charging more and working less and leaving people less satisfied and less successful than they could be. Don't you deserve to be able to serve those people better? Don't you deserve to charge what those people are charging or more to give this person a better product that you're going to do anyway? Yeah, you deserve it. Why is that even a question? So think about that for a second. And if you look, again, for me, the biggest thing, and this is just me personally, looking at that average and thinking, man, there's people underselling it by thousands of dollars. Like, if all of those people met the current average, what would the average really be? How much more money is there out there to make? How much money are people willing to invest into something that is really a fascination with businesses. Like, think about that for a second. People are fascinated. It's like Disneyland, man. People are fascinated with Disneyland. They will drop money. Like, they will save up their entire lives just for one trip to Disneyland, right? It's that important to them. Man, businesses are the same way with social media marketing, SEO, like all of that. Think about it. They are that fascinated with making it the best possible. You think they're not going to invest? Oh, they will. They absolutely will.
I love it, man. I love it. Guys, make sure you go right now in this moment, go to Facebook and type in Real Ian Sneed. Find him, like him, send him a message and tell him the talented Frank Salas sent you and you want to get on his calendar. You want him to get in his brain, get in your brain and mix it all up and get all your low value thoughts and exchange them for high value thoughts. You could have a whole different thing that we haven't even discussed. It could be very deep down inside. So I want to talk about that real quick because a lot of people come to me with their external or surface level problems. And I'm like, oh, just from our communication, I'm not qualified to have this conversation with you, but I can tell that there's some really bad juju way deep down somewhere in there that I don't want to touch, that I'm not qualified to touch. And if I touch, you might go kill yourself. I don't know. I don't want that on my hands. I don't want that on my blood. I know I'm being dramatic, but that's how I feel because I'm not qualified because I just know the power that words and the stuff that you have. So talk to us about somebody who might be dealing with something deep down, whatever that is.
All right. Can you repeat that again? Because the feed kind of skipped out.
Yeah, you got it. So let's say, somebody has something that's bothering them very, very deep down below all their surface problems. And there's something that's just really affecting them. It could be a bad breakup. It could be a depression thing. It could be a self-worth thing. It could be a confidence thing. It could be a million things, but it's just deep down. And there's a bunch of surface symptoms that keep showing up in their life over and over again. Maybe you keep getting cheated on. Maybe you keep letting people walk all over you. Maybe you don't have boundaries. Maybe you're broke, and your cash flow is inconsistent. Just there's a bunch of stuff happening here and you might fix it, but it keeps popping up because the issues are super deep down. What would you say to that kind of person?
Right. So what I would say is, the first thing I'm going to say is disclaimers. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a counselor. I'm not a psychoanalyst, psychologist, or something like that. Right. So if there's trauma in your past, absolutely go see one of those professionals that have like 6 to 8 years of studying just for those situations. Like, don't be scared of going and reaching out to help from those people because they are very good at what they do. Now, if it's not trauma, then yeah, we could talk a little bit because a lot of times what you see is, I call those Groundhog Day like problems, right? It's a very human thing where you keep coming up to the same problem over and over and over again. And you're just like, what is going on? How come nothing changes? Like, I might change this about my life, but then this problem keeps coming up. I might change that about my life, and then this problem keeps coming up. So the thing with that is, if you're experiencing anything like that, then absolutely there is something that you need to address, right? And a lot of times that's stuff that I can work with. I'll only know talking to somebody one-to-one is like, no, you should go see a therapist for sure. Or like, I could definitely help you. But a lot of times for those people, what we have to do is look at our environment and look at the situations that we're experiencing and recognize, all right, is there something here that needs to be addressed? And if there is, how do I do it? And really, this is where NLP really is powerful, because a lot of times you don't even have to know what the problem is. You just have to know what the circumstances are being created from the problem. And if you can fix one of those circumstances the right way, it essentially roots all the way back to the problem, and you can essentially dissolve the problem without having to go through reliving whatever caused this situation to come up in the first place. And so a lot of times, I'm going to use that breakup example because you see this all the time. It's people get into a bad breakup with somebody they really cared about, and then next thing you know, they can't trust people or everyone that they date.